Hey y'all, welcome to peanut planting time. First, let me tell you that you're going to want to head on over to Brian's channel at Next Level Gardening. He is going to have a video available for you telling you all about peanuts, the information that you really need to know, and then he's also going to grow peanuts for the first time this year as well. I live in a hot, humid environment with a shorter growing season than what he has. So what we would like to do is show you the comparison between the two climates and the two methods of planting peanuts. Here, I am starting peanuts indoors, and I'm doing this because I have a shorter growing season, and peanuts do take quite a long time to develop. So, several days in advance of them going outside, I just start them on a wet paper towel, like you see. I leave room between each peanut to give the first taproot that's going to germinate out of these peanuts plenty of room to expand. And then once they are all down on the wet paper towel, you're going to just fold over that other half of the towel on top of the peanuts, giving them a completely surrounded, moist environment to grow in. Then you are going to want to slide those peanuts into a plastic bag. Now, I do prefer to use a Ziploc bag, and later you'll see that they were indeed transferred to a Ziploc bag, but on this day, I happened to be out of them, so I made do with a different type of a gallon bag that I have. I'll enclose them in this plastic, and I place them onto a styrofoam plate. I prefer the styrofoam plate because it acts like an insulation and kind of gives it just a little bit warmer bottom. And then I will take and place it on top of my deep freezer because that'll give it a warmer environment. Place it on your refrigerator, on top of your dryer, just somewhere out of the way, but warm. That's key to them germinating. Here is day 2 after getting them started, and day 4 after getting them started, almost ready to plant. Here it is planting day. It's day 6, and we'll take a look at how they progressed and how they looked on this day. What's going on here is Kyle is taking and working the soil, getting out any remaining weeds or volunteer plants that have. So you just want to get your soil basic prepared. Here you see what it looks like, and this is why you want to have your soil prepared. As you can see, the peanut will fall down in onto the dirt from that little ovary or flower, and from there a peanut pod is produced. So it's important that you prepare your soil to be ready to grow peanuts. Primarily, you're looking to loosen the soil. Just keep working your soil just to get it a little bit loose. You're not really wanting to turn your soil over or damage worms or other beneficial insects. You're just really looking to loosen the soil, continue to find any other weeds or other plants that might be growing in the area and dispose of them. You want to get it ready to receive compost, or if you have plenty of soil there, just get it ready to receive a material that will help to loosen the soil or keep the soil loose. Okay, as you can see, we have our compost already filled into the bed. It just acts as a little more filler, something fresh with fresh nutrients. Half a large bag of perlite has been dumped into the bed. We also end up adding one more small bag of perlite in addition to that half bag. It goes into the soil and then gets mixed around. And bless Kyle's heart, thank him so much for helping me out. I had been suffering with back issues for the last several weeks and really did not wish to get that started again. So he's doing all of the heavy lifting for me, which I greatly appreciate. So what he's going to do is he's going to end up raking this perlite into the soil, getting it good and mixed around, and the perlite will help keep the soil loose. You can use peat moss, cocoa coir. I think there's several other items, sand, that can be used to keep the soil loose. Now it comes to day 6, y'all, and it's time to plant, and that's what we were doing, getting the soil ready for it. Here you're going to see what these peanuts look like after 6 days in this bag. And honestly, it was a day longer than would have been ideal, but they're still okay to plant. They've not gone too far. They're going to come out of this bag, and you're going to be so surprised at how they look. As you can see here, I have the Ziploc bag that I had transferred them into. I find the Ziploc works best. Now look at these roots, you guys. I only have to have 1 to 2 inches of roots. But I'm going to tell you what, from the night before when I looked at these to that day, it was an incredible burst of growth. Here I'm using a dibbler that was given to me by Rick at Lala Farm. I will put a link in the description to their channel for you. It's a wonderful gift that he gave me, and it's going to come in handy over the gardening years. Here I'm showing you how it looks and exactly the direction you want to plant it. You want to plant it sort of on its side, but with that tap root going down without damaging the root. You just want to gently place it in there and just kind of lay it down and just get those roots sort of facing the direction they want to go. They're going to find their own way. You don't have to stress over it. Just gently lay them in a hole that's maybe about 1 inch deep, maybe 2 inches. You don't want a terrible lot of soil placed back over the top of the peanut starts once you've got them into the ground. So what you just see me doing is going along and putting in the holes and then placing the seeds where they belong. So one thing I like to do when I plant peanuts is I like to mark where I've put them. Now I didn't do that last year, which was a huge mistake, but it didn't really affect too much of what was going on with the plants, other than it did allow some volunteer cantaloupe to grow that I would have been more aware of. So what I do is I just go along and mark everywhere where I'm going to have a peanut grow, so that if any other plants, weeds, things like that start to come up, I know what's peanut and what is a weed or another plant starting. Most plants look exactly alike as they start out. Peanuts are a little bit of the exception, yet it can still be somewhat confusing. I just eliminate all the confusion by marking where they are. And once they're covered, you just gently water them in. Kyle likes to call it a gentle rainfall the way he's going. You don't want to be rough with your water spraying towards your bed. You just want to get them gently watered in. And you want to keep them like this until the plants start coming up. You just want to make sure that they stay moist. Once the plants start coming up, you can go more towards the regular to heavy watering cycle. Peanuts do love to be watered. They are from the tropics, so of course they're used to getting rain and that sort of thing. But you definitely don't have to do it all of the time once the plants start coming up. You just keep the soil moist and you will be all right. I'm looking so forward to this gardening season and seeing a full bed of peanuts. I'm hopeful to grow 2 to 3 times as much as I did last year. It's a great alternative resource to protein. And, come on, let's face it, who doesn't like a peanut? Y'all have a great day, and thanks for coming along.